Look up at the night sky. Countless stars, each a sun in its own galaxy. Now, look at your hand. Inside every cell is a different kind of universe, DNA. This double helix contains the instructions for building you, connecting you to every living thing on Earth. It's a story written in a language of just 4 letters, A, T, C, and G. Somewhere in that code lies the secret to one of humanity's greatest achievements, language. How did we, upright apes on a small planet, learn to talk? The answer is written in our biology. Our brains are not random. They're structured by millions of years of evolution, guided by our genes. DNA sets the stage, preparing our brains for language, giving us the innate capacity to turn sounds into meaning. A baby born anywhere can learn any language, proof that the foundation for language is biological, not cultural. This wiring lets us acquire grammar and vocabulary with ease. We are born expecting language, just as we expect to see light and shadow. To understand the origin of language is to understand our genetic story. Our clues aren't ancient texts, but the molecules that make us who we are. We'll travel inside the human genome, searching for the genes that shaped our linguistic minds. These genes influence our brains and vocal cords, helping us rewind the evolutionary clock. We want to find the moment our ancestors gained this incredible power. Can our DNA unlock the secrets of the first words ever spoken? The universe is waiting. Let's explore the evidence. The story begins within us. Our ability to speak isn't magic, it's biology. DNA contains genes that direct the development of brain regions essential for language, like Broca's and Wernicke's areas. These command centers for speech are built and connected by our genes. Your genome doesn't contain a dictionary, but it builds a brain hungry for patterns and capable of symbolic thought. Genes also shape our vocal tract, giving us the fine motor control needed for speech, something other primates lack. This genetic foundation is why language feels so natural. We don't consciously learn grammar as toddlers. Our brains are pre-configured to absorb it. It's like having an operating system ready to run any language software. Genes don't determine which language you speak, but they make language possible at all. They orchestrate the development of a brain ready for communication. When we search for the origins of language, we're looking for the evolutionary tweaks in our DNA that set us apart. These mutations shaped our brains and bodies, paving the way for everything from Shakespeare to science. The story of language is written in our DNA. It's a story of potential, waiting to be realized. And it all starts with our genes. In genetics, some discoveries change everything. One was the FOXP2 gene. In the 1990s, scientists found a British family with a speech disorder traced to a mutation in FOXP2. This was the first time a gene was directly linked to language ability. But FOXP2 isn't the language gene. It's a master regulator, turning other genes on or off, shaping brain and lung development. The human version of FOXP2 differs slightly from that in chimpanzees, just 2 amino acids, but with big effects. These changes likely enhanced our ancestors' vocal control and refined brain circuits for speech. FOXP2 didn't create language, but it was a crucial upgrade. Later scientists found Neanderthals had the same FOXP2 version as us. This suggests the capacity for complex speech predates modern humans. The story of language is not just ours, it's shared with our evolutionary cousins. FOXP2 is a clue, not the whole answer. It shows how tiny genetic changes can have profound effects. The search continues for other genes that shaped our linguistic abilities. Each discovery brings us closer to understanding our shared story. Finding FOXP2 in Neanderthals changed everything. It means the genetic toolkit for speech is older than Homo sapiens. The groundwork for language may have been laid over 500,000 years ago. Genetics acts as a molecular clock. Comparing genomes lets us estimate when key changes happened. The 2 FOXP2 changes are ancient, showing a long evolutionary push for better communication. But FOXP2 is just one piece. Scientists now scan thousands of genomes, finding other genes like CNTNAP2 and ASPM linked to language. Each new gene adds to our understanding of the language-ready brain. These clues give us a timeline for the evolution of language capacity. They can't tell us what was said, but they show when the hardware was ready. Ancient genes whisper of conversations long past. The story is still unfolding. We have a timeline in genes like FOXP2 that gave our ancestors the tools for complex vocalization. The first language wasn't a sudden invention, it was a slow co-evolution of genes, brains, and communication. Imagine an early hominin with a mutation for clearer sounds. This gave a survival edge, spreading the gene. Over generations, vocal tracts and brains became more versatile. Archaeology shows that as these changes took hold, tool complexity and social cooperation increased. Proto-language likely developed alongside these advances. Simple combinations, more than grunts, less than full sentences. Genes provided the potential, survival challenges provided the motivation. The first words were probably holistic utterances. Single sounds, with big meanings. Early language was likely musical and tonal, relying on pitch and rhythm. Genetic tools for articulation let our ancestors break down phrases into building blocks, nouns, verbs, words. The first language was a song before it was a sentence. Evolution built the stage. Culture wrote the script. The journey from sound to meaning was gradual, but transformative. Our story began with a single voice, echoing through time. DNA tells us a lot, but it has limits. Our genome is a blueprint, not a record of culture. It reveals the evolution of the brain and vocal tract and when language capacity emerged, but DNA holds no memory of the words our ancestors spoke. Language, the words, grammar, syntax, is cultural software, not genetic hardware. Genes build the stage, culture writes the play. A child's language depends on environment, not just DNA. Genetics can reveal the capacity for music, but not your favorite song. Same with language. The actual content of the first language is lost to time. Sequencing ancient genomes won't resurrect lost words. The genetic and linguistic codes are fundamentally different. Genetics gives us clues about our ability to speak, but not the specifics of ancient conversations. The first language's sounds and structures are lost in prehistory. If DNA can't tell us the first words, is it a dead end? Not at all. Instead, we ask, what kind of language was the first human brain equipped to learn? Genetics reveals the universal features all languages share, shaped by our biology. For example, all languages use recursion, embedding phrases within phrases. Is this ability rooted in our genes? Some scientists think so. By linking genes to brain functions, we can trace when these abilities evolved. Tonality is another clue. Genes for pitch perception may reveal if early languages were tonal. DNA can't give us a dictionary, but it can profile the abilities of the first language-ready brain. Did it favor certain word orders or sounds? By combining genetics, linguistics, and anthropology, we build a clearer picture of the first language's character. We may never know its words, but we can glimpse its nature. The story of language isn't written in DNA alone. To understand its origins, we must look at human culture. Genetic potential existed for millennia, but culture sparked language's true evolution. Language co-evolved with social structures, technology, and symbolic thought. The Great Leap Forward, an explosion of creativity, may have been driven by fully modern language. Language is a shared agreement built by communities. The first language was born in interactions, not in a single mind. It grew from the need to cooperate and share understanding. Archaeological finds, art, ornaments, tools, are fossils of language, proof of symbolic minds. The genetic and cultural stories are two sides of the same coin. DNA gave us the voice, culture gave us something to say. Together, they made us human. We began with the stars and end within ourselves. At the code of DNA, our genes built the brain and vocal apparatus for language. Discoveries like FOXP2 show our capacity for speech is ancient, shared with Neanderthals. DNA can't resurrect the first words, but it reveals the mind that invented language. As we sequence more genomes, we'll uncover more about the evolution of language. Advances in neuroscience and AI may one day model the language-ready brain of our ancestors. The search for the first language is a search for connection to our past, to each other. Every time we speak, we use a gift shaped over hundreds of thousands of years. We continue a conversation that began around ancient campfires. Exploring the universe and the genome, we write the next chapter in our story. The cosmos gave us life. Evolution gave us language. What we do with it is up to us. The story continues.